And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, back from Healthy Kids, Chaves County, Becky, Joyce, and Paula Camp back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Great.
Good.
Great. It's a good day.
How was Thanksgiving for you guys and your families?
Great.
Guys,
Ours was a little quiet.
yeah?
Good. We had a huge group, and it was great.
I bet you all ate all healthy decisions, right?
Of
No,
course. Yes.
no
Yes.
unhealthy pie or nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
Well, if you, hey, for every piece of pie, get an equal portion of green bean casserole. There's a
there
balance
you
there.
go. There you go.
Or take a good walk.
There you go
Yes,
afterwards.
Yes. We have some suggestions that you could do for healthy eating in the
Yeah.
holidays.
Well, we're not
we'll
done.
get to that.
Yeah, we just did round one. We got a round two coming up
That's
here in a
right.
few weeks.
And there's New Year's.
And then there's
So,
New Year's, so round three.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
It's a busy time.
And I imagine, too, this is because for you guys, because let's face it, a lot of our youth in Chaves County, if it weren't for the school system, their food supplies and things. So families,
Exactly.
it's a little tougher for families during this time of year.
It is.
Especially with more family coming, more things happening. That's why we have so many great food banks and organizations in town
Right.
that try to help that and support them all.
Exactly.
I would offer that you show the same support and vigor like in June that we show in December, because
That's
Right.
true.
they really slack
They
off
need
during
it
that time
all
of year.
year.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
they
But
do.
please help them out. But yeah, I mean, and for folks that don't know, Healthy Kids Chaves County, it's a sub-program or
An
umbrella.
initiative.
Yeah, initiative. There's the official term of the New Mexico Department of Health.
Yes.
So, but you guys work hand in hand with the schools in Chaves County.
Yes.
Just various youth groups, that actually the New Mexico Department of Health, obviously, on providing resources for families to access healthy foods, but inform and educate on what healthy foods are, how to plan,
Right.
how to. Let's face it, we didn't come with owner's manuals, unfortunately.
Right. How to
And-
make
And
healthy
also
choices.
with Parks and Rec and working with our
Yeah.
trails and recreation.
The physical
and
side of it, not just
aspect
eating
of it.
right, but
that's right.
healthy
We got to keep
lifestyle.
healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because
Right.
that's half the battle. And
Right.
It is.
And as we get older, I think, and you guys do with kids, but as we get older, we factor that less, the active side. We're like, okay, I'm willing to eat less food, but put me on a treadmill, nah,
Right.
not happening. It's like, I'll meet you halfway here, but. And Becky, and this is probably your more passion
Right,
on side
right.
on is okay. I get it. You don't want to spend a half hour walking around on a tree. I don't either. I'm not a hamster. I get you. But you know what? You can go outside and walk or take a walk.
Right.
You can
Exactly.
incorporate it as part of your day anyway,
Right.
instead of vegetating on the couch or on the in front of the TV for 6 hours afterwards. Say,
Exactly.
let's go take a walk. Let's go and you don't have to go climb Mount Everest, but let's go take a walk, or let's just go outside and fly a kite or do something where we're moving, we're active,
Right.
we're just not stagnant and sitting.
Right.
We
Because
just-
we have got lots of parks, and we've got Bitter Lakes. There's trails out there, Bottomless Lakes.
Yeah.
The recreation center with their aquatic center.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got some great resources that.
And they keep adding programs and
Yeah.
things. And matter of fact, we were talking with Kathy Lay. Actually, we replayed the interview today, but we talked to her early this week with the city. And we were talking about, look, if you want to see things at the recreation center, if there's things that you want to do and things you'd like to see there, talk to them about that.
Right.
That's exactly what it's for, is they want to mold that facility to meet the needs of the community. And so, all right, we got 37 rooms with weights, but if we only need 2, then let's use the 2 and let's make those other 35 rooms
Something else.
something for the community that they'll love. Maybe
Right.
it's a checkers tournament. Maybe it's a aerobics class. Maybe it's a fly fishing seminar. I don't know, but it's stuff to get you out there and get you to do
Right.
stuff.
We just finished a program with all the schools in Chaves County, like Arthur, Hagerman, Dexter, and RISD, called 5210.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that program does. They want the kids to eat 5 fruits and vegetables, 2 hours or less of screen time, because they want 1 hour of physical activity. They want them outside, and we give them all kinds of ideas of how they can go outside and play. Kick a ball.
Yeah.
Play with your dog.
Do all
Walk
those
with
things
your
you did as a
family.
kid.
Yes, exactly. But don't stay inside.
Yeah.
It's a little harder now that it gets dark so early,
Sure.
but they can still have some time after school to
Sure.
use it in an active way.
Sure. And I know getting kids to make healthy decisions and make healthy. I mean, it's food's the battle. I know. You always see usually like Velveeta always love to do commercials like kids won't eat broccoli. Let's dunk cheese all over it. They'll eat broccoli now. And I'm for that to some extent. I mean, you don't want to do that with everything.
Beginning.
Yeah, but you can do that with the physical activity too. And so,
Sure.
all right, maybe it is colder and stuff. They love playing their screen games. And all right, well, maybe then let's get them involved. If that's the problem, let's get them involved with, and I know Wii's outdated, but they have more modern versions, these VR things that are,
Where they move.
They move. You're moving. So at least that's something. So
It is.
If the weather doesn't cooperate with you, then let's work on things that still keep them moving indoors,
Right.
instead of just working their thumb and
That's what we're
a
hoping
couple fingers
for.
here.
Yes, that's what we're hoping for.
And to be honest, all the stuff we're talking about is your kids here, but it's equally good advice for the adults too.
Well, and as a matter of fact, we'll do a program in the spring. We're starting it now called Eat Smart to Play Hard. And that's for 4th and 5th grade.
Okay.
We do it in the Valley schools. And then in the past, Nancy Lopez and Pecos has done it. Missouri Avenue is adding this year and hopefully Sunset.
Good.
And it's a program that encourages the family to do healthy things. They take a booklet home with a simple recipe, and then there's also a simple activity. And they want to do that with their family.
Okay.
It might just be making a fruit bowl or a cheese quesadilla or, something simple, a
Sure.
smoothie. But get the family involved with the kids.
Absolutely,
Because
it's great.
it's so good to get the kids cooking, to get the kids to see that if they don't have, if their folks are at work
Yeah.
and they need to fix a snack,
Sure.
pick something healthy that's good. Because there are healthy things that taste good.
Absolutely. You're kind of, at least sparked in my head, another real technology related issue that we as Americans in society are going to have to get a handle on here. And it's, you talked about, teaching your kids to cook these things and in a world of convenience. And it's happened now. I mean, think about it. When we were kids, your parents, everybody, okay, we make it. We make foods. We do this. Basic, simple cooking skills, boiling water, cooking, toast, things that.
Just basic things.
There's less and less kids with those skills nowadays because
That's
everything's
absolutely
add
true.
a cup of water, pop it in a microwave, or peel back, pop in microwave, whatever it is, pop in microwave, and unfortunately, it's hard to make healthy choices all the time if that's your
is.
only method for getting food to yourself.
Yes.
If your method is microwave ramen or go to McDonald's or fast food, I mean. That's
Right.
not a lot of options there for you.
And people have reasons for doing that.
Yeah.
Both parents working or
Yeah.
single parent. Just there's reasons that people do that, and we understand that.
Sure,
but there are very simple things that kids can learn to cook themselves that's safe and healthy.
I look at it as time is tricky, and I get it. Making family meals,
Yes.
That's impossible to do all the time. It
Right.
really is. However, the skill set of cooking, teaching your children to be able to operate a stove and make something on the stove, even if it's just grilled cheese sandwiches,
Yes.
things where they actually have to prepare foods
Yes.
and learn measurements and all that kind of stuff. And it's not just learning math and all that. It's a skill set like any other. You teach your children how to get dressed. You teach your children how to tie their shoes. You teach your children how to brush their teeth, how to comb their hair, how to cook. How to cook food should be in that same category.
It should be.
Because you can't live life without these skill sets. I don't care who you are, where you come from. I don't care if you're the richest person on the planet. If you can't cook your own egg,
Right.
you're gonna be handcuffing yourself in life. That's
And
we have a local teacher in town, Jessica Garrison, that has in the past taught at East Grand Plains, and she is at home with her children now, doing some teaching at home. And I posted it on our Facebook page. She has been taking them to the grocery store And then, well, first they decide on some recipes.
Like the whole process of
right, the whole process.
Yes.
They go to the
Yes.
store. She shows them, this is how you get fried broccoli. This
Mm-hmm.
is, you weigh it, or you know, this is how much, we're going to get. And then she takes them home and lets them participate in the preparation of how to cook that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And there's so many great values to that, like you said,
Sure.
they're teaching that so that they not only learn how to cook it themselves or learn what it's like to go to the store and purchase it, but they're learning so many good things about that and where
Yes.
it came from. And so I think more parents should do that.
Absolutely.
It would
and
be
I know
fabulous
it takes,
if
it
they could.
does take some time. And
It does.
And you're in a rush and you just go to the store and you get things and
Yeah.
you're in a hurry. But just even one night a week, do
Right.
that.
Right.
Or
Well, and that's just because we live in a world where things you think aren't what they are sometimes, and that's where the problem we get with some of these prepackaged foods and meals and things. There's things they have to add to that to make the shelf life work,
Preservatives.
to preserve it. Obviously, they season them for a bland everybody to get down. It's not, if you prefer spicy or you prefer
Right.
whatever, it's not made to that, so it's not going to taste as good. But at the end of the day, you're not getting the full nutritional value. You think, oh, there's some peas there, great. But if they've been these other frozen peas with preservatives and everything else, it's probably sure. Is it more healthy than a big piece of fried something? Yeah,
Or a bag of Cheetos.
yeah. But is it going to be as beneficial to your body as peas that were flash frozen or fresh from a farmer's market or something?
Right.
No way. There's
No
no way
way.
it's not.
No.
And unfortunately, we think we're getting the same thing, and that's the problem. We're not. I get it. You got time. All right, hungry man's going in. We're good to go. I get everybody. I do it all the time too.
Right.
When you need to.
Right.
But if you don't, A, know there's a difference, and B, know you have to make it that way.
Right.
That's the part that's, because you're going to think you're doing all the right things, and you're really not, because you're not. At the end of the day, when they teach you how to make an apple pie or whatever with the fresh ingredients, that's a healthier option than frozen Mrs. Smith's apple pie. It
Well,
just
and
is.
that's something you can do at Christmas time or holiday time, or you could have done it Thanksgiving. If you will choose a healthier way to cook the food, green bean casserole is fabulous. But you can cook green beans without cream of mushroom soup.
right.
Or you don't need to add like 60 cans of it, just enough to make it.
Just make it a little creamy.
Yeah.
Or roast your vegetables in the oven. There's things that you can do to make the meal healthier but still taste good.
Absolutely.
And really, if you think about it, if you have corn casserole and if you have green bean casserole and if you have mashed potatoes and gravy and dressing and turkey, whoa, that's such an overload. If
Yeah.
you could just try one new thing.
And that's why we only do that once a year, by
Yes,
the way. That's why you
definitely.
eat like
but
that
it
every
can
day.
set you back.
Sure.
Our BMIs, we have to finish.
Right. We've been traveling all over the state, taking BMI's body mass index
Yeah.
from kids, which is height and weight, from kindergarten and third grade. And then we send that data to the state, and they aggregate a form or a
Profile or
I
something.
can't think of the word.
Yeah.
But anyway, they aggregate and make a report.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
They send out to all the schools and to our legislators.
Sure.
And everybody who kind of helps pay for our program.
Gotcha. Just
To justify the fact of why we do the programs, why we do 521.
or does more need to be done?
Right,
Or are we on the
exactly.
right track here?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Because-
it's what we're doing effective.
Right,
Yeah.
because our state, we are real high in childhood obesity, and we need to. That's what our program does, is we're trying to fight that.
Sure.
And so,
And unfortunately, and this is where we mix social and everything else. Unfortunately, obesity can be tagged with being a poor state and being, if we have a lot of
Yes.
people below the income, the convenience foods, those quick foods are generally cheaper in access than the fresh stuff.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Because that's how companies make money. They make these products, and they find a way to get it shipped and moved cheaply. But what happens is you sacrifice quality and nutrition doing
You
that.
do.
And that's another reason why we encourage gardens.
Yeah.
And, you know, and not only teaching them when you go to the grocery store of where you buy it, but how it's grown, you know, and so we're little by little.
That's
we've
right.
got several schools that do that here in Roswell, and then we've got some in the valley. And so, but we've encouraged them to learn where it comes from.
Please get
know.
your families, make your trips out to your Graves Farms and places
Yes,
like that.
the New Mexico grown vegetables.
You
You
see
know,
the
you can
produce
go
stands.
down there to the store when they have their harvest, and you can buy fresh vegetables.
Other than green chili.
Yes, that's the biggie.
Other
Because you
than
put
green
that
chili.
on it, and everything tastes
I know everybody's
good.
like, yeah, that's where I get my green chili. Yes, they have other things too.
You need to shop there.
They
Look
have like
around.
fruits and other vegetables. Yeah.
Right.
Well, some other healthy things have been going on. We've had East Grand Plains, speaking of them, they had a turkey trot.
Cool.
Right before Thanksgiving, and all the kids, to be able to run in that, brought canned food. And then they donated that canned food to Harvest Ministries.
Awesome.
So, you know, that was kind of like their fundraiser for the fall.
That's great.
And they had so much that was brought in. Every child got to participate in the turkey trot, and they ran it. And then it was really fun, and the kids had a great time. And,
Excellent.
You
And
know, so we're trying to encourage those healthy fundraisers still.
And it works. When you educate the kids in the schools, they take that home with them. And,
They do.
and sorry, parents, I know you get a little guilt trip or something, but I'm sorry. Maybe that inspires you. Like you said, you got these activities here where you do as a family. Maybe it inspires you to do that. Okay,
Yes.
I know we don't always make the healthiest choices when we do this here, and I get it. You're not going to do it every time. You don't have to win every day. You just have to
No.
keep fighting and
Right.
keep doing
Don't
it. Keep
give
trying.
up.
Yeah, we
And
all
like,
mess up.
This turkey trot was twofold. The kids got the exercise, then the food was donated to Harvest
That's
Ministries.
great.
Right.
So then you're helping
Yeah.
to get food to people that need it.
And it raises awareness for the next generation of
It does.
helpers and community-minded,
Right.
service-oriented kids. 'Cause
And Lake Arthur had a turkey trot as well.
that's great.
So Lake Arthur and East Grand Plains both. And another thing, you know, if you can't get fresh fruits and vegetables, if you do need to rely on canned food, a really good resource is Chaves County Extension Office and the I Can Educator. They have lots of recipes, lots of suggestions for people to how to cook with canned food.
Yeah.
How to make chili.
And to be
with
honest, that's
4
not
cans.
that bad. Like the canned stuff
It's
here.
absolutely
yeah,
not.
it's not. I mean, sure. I would love to go to the market and pull
Yes.
some ears of corn and shuck them and make.
Yes.
But who's got time for all that sometimes? So yeah,
Exactly.
go grab that can of Libby's off the shelf there, or that can of green, or that bag of Green Giant out of the. Usually that's a little bit more expensive, but the canned food works great as well too.
It does. And, you know, you could take a can of peaches, for example. You could put some of that on waffles, or
Yeah.
you could make a smoothie out of it, or put it with yogurt.
Yeah.
You know, there's things you can do with it.
Well, and that's the difference. Canned ingredients is one thing versus canned prepared products or
Right.
frozen, and that's
Yeah.
the difference
Yes.
here. Those peaches were canned, or frozen, put in the can, they're preserved.
Right.
And they're and we've been doing that for 50, 60 plus years now. We're very good
Yes.
at doing that. At least since probably World War II era is probably when we started doing some of that
Probably.
stuff. We've gotten very good at that process. Whereas prepared foods that are made somewhere fully, they use different ingredients. That's where you have
don't
shelf
really
life
know
issues. Yeah. So
what you're getting.
So a Hungry Man dinner is a little way different than a can of peaches or a
Right.
can of peas.
Right. Right.
Because of how it's done, how it's prepared. So
And I
so
do-
don't confuse, because I don't want to confuse people thinking, well, you just told me you got to go fresh all the time, and now you're saying use a can. Now, go
there are things
make
you
your
can
own
do
food.
with it.
Yeah.
Do the best you can with what you have.
Make meals, don't buy
Yes.
pre-prepared meals.
Yes,
That's the difference.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And I think, like you mentioned, the Hungry Man TV dinners, that after World War II is when TV dinners even came into
Swanson
being.
got in the business. And,
They did, and
Yeah.
they made a lot of money. And people were excited. They have dinner in a little tray, and they can sit in front of the TV
Yeah.
and eat, which is another bad habit.
Yeah.
Which I would bring up.
Well,
Eating
even
in
looking
front
at-
of the TV.
Yeah, because you're distracted on what's TV and you're
Yes.
not paying attention.
It's so important to sit as a family or sit at the table, even if you're by yourself. Read your book.
how many of us have gone, the game's on, you go grab a bag of
Absolutely.
tortilla chips and a bowl and a jar of salsa, and you sit down in front of the TV watching the game. Next thing you know, the entire bag of Tostitos are gone.
It's gone.
And the salsa's like you're scraping the bottom, and you're like, oh, man, I just ate an entire bag
Which
in 30
is
minutes
another
sitting here.
point.
And that's,
Put it on a plate. Don't take the bag. Don't take the jar.
Yeah.
Get a plate.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of chips, a little bit of salsa, and
Yeah.
that's what you eat.
Yeah.
You have to form those habits to encourage you to control your portion size.
Unless you're the most disciplined person on the planet, which none of us are. So,
No, we're not. And
there's a
it's
reason
worked
why
every
Lay says
time.
you can't eat just one. They
Well,
know
and
that.
I do it all the time. I even have stadium seats in my living room, don't I?
Yeah.
To watch sports,
Sure.
baseball.
And
We
you're-
have 2 stadium seats, and I want to be there with my snacks.
Yeah.
I'm I do it too. Everybody does it. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's just try to do better most of the time.
And here's an idea, maybe. Like if you're that chronic muncher type and you're like, well, I can't watch the game. I don't know what to do with my hands. All right. Have your chips and everything, but portion it like you were saying. Then when it's done, it's done. But if you still like, go grab, I don't know, and people are like, yeah, okay, carrots. But seriously,
yes.
carrots or the cauliflower, get that veggie plate. Maybe not 8 pounds of ranch dressing on the cauliflower, but grab a handful of carrots and just, at least if you're absent-mindedly munching those, you're not doing a lot of damage. You're actually doing some benefit.
Well, and my grandkids, they do a snack plate.
Yeah.
They get a few carrots. Then they get a few of those little goldfish.
Yeah.
Then they get a string cheese. Then they might get something else.
Yeah.
And they have their little snack plate.
Sure.
And then you don't overeat.
Yeah.
You are controlling what you're eating.
How many people you're like, oh, I ate too many carrots? You never hear people say that.
Or
I'm
too much
bloated, I ate
celery.
too much carrots. You never hear that.
No, that's never a problem.
So do it. And
Yes.
that way, as you're trying to do better and things,
Yes.
but you're trying to get through the mental side of
Yes.
addiction, which really is kind of what
It
we're
is.
dealing with here.
Yeah.
And those issues, make alternatives.
Right.
Reach for the carrot sticks instead. At least that gives you a sensation of, and you know what I'm saying? And if you're like,
Right.
I don't like carrots, well, pick something else.
Snow
Maybe it's
peas.
raisins. I don't know.
Whatever.
Something.
Yes.
Yeah. Something that you're
that's
into.
a healthier choice.
Yeah,
you
even
know.
but you got to be careful with these too. Just do your research. But like when they freeze dry, like cranberries and bananas.
Oh,
and
yeah,
those can
mangoes.
be great options. Be careful because a lot of times they load those down with sugar. But
And that's another whole day to talk
Yeah.
about reading a label.
yeah,
Right.
but if you
Yes.
if you choose the right ones, you're in good shape. So
You
look
are.
for that.
You are.
And then get out and move.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we have every Saturday. We go. There's Walk with a Doc.
Yeah.
Out at Cielo Grande Saturday mornings. We've got a reindeer run coming up December 18th.
Right.
We still all of our trails. We just everything's great because the leaves are turning.
Yeah.
And there's my son.
and we've had good weather.
Right. My son was in town from Austin, and he says, "Mom, we walked down the Cielo Grande. It's really a nice trail." I mean, it was kind of like,
It was
hello.
yeah. Did you know they had walking trails? That was amazing. And you're like, yes,
Shocking.
yeah.
Because they're used to doing
Yeah.
that where they're from.
We used to go there for the pool, but now they got walking trail.
Yeah, I mean, it was a different perspective, a different phase of his life,
Yeah.
and he's
That
really
you're
into
aware of
that,
it,
and
yeah.
so he said, "Man, we started out at the
Yeah.
zoo and walked all the way back."
I love those moments when kids do that, especially
the
like when
light
they
comes on.
like pulp culture or something that happened. I know but it's almost like they're like, "Do you know this group, the Beatles? They're pretty good." And you're like, "Yeah, I heard
Oh,
of
by
them."
the way. Yeah, exactly.
But it was great because you tell your kids or you tell family members or other friends, "Well, we have some great trails in Roswell." They're like,
Yeah.
and then they walk. Wow,
And they-
you know what? That was really nice.
And they keep working. There's more to come. I mean, they're in the
Right.
works for connecting all these.
right.
So
We're trying to
Right.
get that
in the
connected.
Working
future, it
hard
will
to
happen.
do that.
There's
It will.
there's a lot of logistics and a
Right.
lot of not my backyards going on there, but
Uh-huh.
eventually they're going to connect the two.
Right.
And when that happens, that's going to be a game changer for a lot of
It
folks
will.
that
really
use
is.
that
And
area.
so many
stuff.
neighborhood parks,
Yeah.
and they work on those parks.
Mm-hmm.
They've tried to put new equipment in it. The city has worked so hard to make them.
And our old elm trees that are just on their last leg, they're
Yeah.
slowly
Right.
but surely cutting those down and putting in 4 or 5 new trees for every tree they cut down. So,
Yeah.
Right.
we're
Which I mean, it's great. You're going to have new trees, but
Right.
it loses the luster. There's something like when you see 100-year-old tree, or not, these aren't 100, but old
Right.
trees that are.
Some of them.
Some of
probably
them
Yeah,
are.
some of them might be, but when they're those
Yeah.
old mature trees, that just
Yeah.
sets a real
Beautiful.
tone. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm from East Coast where there's a lot
Oh,
more
sure.
of that. So when I see that, I'm like, oh, reminds me of home. I go
Right.
down
Yeah.
like Alameda or some of those areas in the old.
Yes, and they have lots of trees.
I'm like, this kind of reminds me back east a little bit,
My mom was from Iowa and came here and married my dad, who was from a rancher from here. And she's like, where are the trees? So
Yes.
it is kind of a shock. But
We do
it
live in
is-
a desert. Just
it
want to
does
point
take
that
a
out.
long time to grow a mature tree, but some of these have are getting kind of decrepit.
Sure,
And,
sure.
and some are a little sick. I
Yeah.
mean, they get
Right.
you know
Oh,
yeah.
different
But-
things wrong
Life
with
happens.
them.
You they're working hard to try to keep it lush and lots of parks and keep our track of everything and mow and put in trash cans and benches and
And
it's-
our zoo is, I
it's
mean,
coming
that's
along.
another
they're
place.
doing lots of great stuff.
And the
going on there.
Christmas Railway is a great thing for the family
Yeah,
to get out.
you got a couple more weeks to take advantage of that.
And aren't
another
they
night.
skating out there?
They got a skating rink.
Yes.
Yeah, first year this got skating
That's
out there.
moving. That's activity. Let's use what Roswell is giving you.
Absolutely.
You know,
And it's like roller skating, except it's not real
Sort
ice,
of.
but so I mean the problem is it's I played hockey and I was an ice
Oh,
skater.
right.
I did
wow.
all both, and I played rollerblades and all that. And to be honest, it's easier to stop on ice skates than it is on roller skates or
Oh,
rollerblades.
Really?
If you know how to hockey stop, you got to learn how to hockey stop.
Well,
But-
yeah.
and
I'd
I'm-
have to have a lesson in
Yeah.
that.
I skated once up in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Up there on
skated
Tramway,
too.
you know,
Yes,
that-
I've been there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
But I roller skate better than I ice skate.
Well, I can rollerblade. I can't roller like if you give me the 2x2
With the wheels.
I'm stumbling over myself. I mean, I can propel and get around, but it's a much less fluid motion.
Right.
Now I say this, I haven't laced on any of this stuff in 25 years, so I don't know how good I am now.
Well,
but
you
back
better
in the day,
Get
Maybe
out
you
there
should
and
get
give
out
it
there
a
and
you
yeah.
know, and that's what it is. It's lack of ice. That's been my problem.
Right.
So maybe I need to get
The
out there.
Christmas Railway is your
Yeah.
chance.
I'll either people like, wow, there's someone that could skate, or man, look at that clown. He's taking out everything out there.
Speaking of fundraisers, we could take you out there
Yeah.
and
There we
have
go.
some kind of
Watch.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
Watch Mike skate.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull it off.
Pay
Does he
$1.
still got it? Let's find out.
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Oh, mercy.
But if you're listening to this, and you know what, I'd love to, maybe we should as a family start making some. And again, baby steps. You don't have to just night and
Right.
day do it, because that's when people fail. If you try to do too much at once, you get overwhelmed, and then you're like,
You
screw it,
do.
I'm going back to what I was doing. And that's why New Year's resolutions generally don't work out so well, because people try to do too much at once sometimes.
Yes, and give up everything.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Just baby steps.
So
That's
make
a
it-
very good way to
Make
say
it a way that is more attainable.
And
you know?
drink lots of water.
Yeah, you can never go
That
wrong by
always
drinking lots
helps.
of water.
Yes, don't pick up a soda.
And as Becky was saying earlier, the physical side gives you more allowance on what you
The
intake
food side.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, okay,
Yes.
I want a big piece of chocolate cake. No problem. Have that big piece of chocolate cake, but don't sit down and vegetate for 3 hours
Take a walk.
afterwards. I know, granted, if you got the bloated belly, go to the bathroom first. But after that, get outside, walk around, and,
Yes.
work some of that off.
Get rid of some of
Right.
yes.
I know the first thing you want to do is like, where's that button on my pants? I get that.
You want an extender.
I get it. But definitely do that. And of course, if you're looking for resources for your family, if you're thinking, I'd love this, where do I? One great way to do that is on Facebook. You can
Yes.
follow the Chaves County Health Council on
You can.
Facebook.
You
Right.
can.
That's that you guys daily put stuff up there, whether it's ideas
do.
for projects, whether
Right.
it's links to resources for anything from funding to food to healthcare to anything that benefits
Healthy
children.
snacks.
Yeah.
We've got some great spreads on how
Oh
to.
my
Yeah.
goodness,
You know,
yes.
Even you want info on what's going on with the rec department and,
Right.
and, the,
Yes.
and the,
The city.
that side. You share
We
and keep
support
people up
the
to date
city.
on all
the
that.
school
too.
districts.
Yeah.
All of them. We try to, promote whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We want to help the people see that we have all these resources.
Mm-hmm.
So check out our page, I Can, Extension Club.
Yeah.
all kinds of things
Yeah,
that
and-
people can find out information.
And if you want to get a little personal, like, well, I got this, how do I deal with this? Shoot a message on the Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Shoot a message to there.
Send us a message.
And they will, if they can't answer a question right that instant, they will go and research it and give you an answer, or at least a place to go find your answer.
Right.
Exactly.
If not, but they
That's
will
it.
help you with all that stuff.
Yes, we will.
And of course, if you got ideas and want to get involved, maybe you're listening and you're a teacher, or you're part of a youth group, or maybe you're a food service provider and you're thinking, hey, I'd love to partner or talk with you guys about opportunities here. Please, that's what Healthy Kids Chaves County is all about.
That's what it's all
It's
about.
all about putting resources together
And community.
and finding ways to help make our kids healthier through
Right.
physical activity, through opportunities in food, through education, through all of that stuff. And unfortunately, it can be boring subjects, but so you got to get creative on making it exciting for kids to do that.
Right. So check out our Facebook, because we have some creative ways
Yeah.
to do fruit, or
Yeah.
the veggie tray thing that
Yeah.
was the wreath.
Right.
It was a Christmas wreath, and it was all kinds of good
Yeah.
food.
Yeah. How many
So-
times you see like Super Bowl parties and stuff, and they make some kind
Yes.
of creation out of the food? Do that with the healthy food.
It's fun.
Go
Make
build
it fun.
build a carrot and celery stadium there for
Something like
as your
that. Yes.
serving device here,
And eat it.
Yeah, and use it that way. Sure, you can slip one or two, fun stuff or what we consider treats. But
Right.
definitely give people options of, meat's not a bad thing, but you don't have to cover it in some kind of sauce or something.
No.
A couple summer sausage there on a cracker and
And
cheese is
choose
just
lean
fine.
meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Turkeys, chicken.
It's all about your
That's a great thing about
choices.
turkey. I know we eat a copious amounts of everything on that day, but as far
The
as meats
turkey's
go,
good.
turkey's a pretty good option as far as health wise. But like anything, too much of a good thing. You can't eat an entire turkey and think I'm healthy as can be. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And obviously preparation. A fried turkey is not going to be as healthy as an oven roasted turkey because
Sure.
it was bathed in grease and dipped for 45 minutes.
But
Of course,
really, but can be tasty.
and that's another thing too. Using substitutes. Like I know a lot of butter going on, and people are like, oh, I love butter and garlic on things. Great, I love that too. And garlic's very healthy. The butter not so much, but you can find alternatives that's less fat, less things that. And I know some people are like, well, real butter tastes way better than margarine. Yeah, probably. But when you're making garlic chicken and you need something there
Or olive oil.
Yeah.
That's
Or-
an oil is a good alternative.
other things you could pair the garlic and the chicken with to put them together that are healthier options.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the stuff we're talking about. It's like, all right, you have
Right.
your garlic chicken, but let's use an alternative to butter to marry those two. Let's
There
do
you
something
go.
else,
Right.
And that's what it's about. Is there anything we got sidetracked on or missed? Or
I don't
anything
think so.
I got on a rant about and forgot. Didn't give you time
It
to
was
talk
a
about.
healthy rant, so it's okay.
Just
No?
encourage people to choose healthy options during the holidays.
Absolutely. Think
Get
about
out
it.
and take that walk with your family, a bike ride. Go to the aquatic center and swim. It's going to be open.
And the,
Right.
and the funny part is you're actually going to feel better. Generally speaking,
Yes, you
those
will.
moments of after holidays is because we just abused our bodies with a bunch of food
Well,
and
and
everything.
sometimes people, they get up in the morning and think,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to eat a big meal later. I'm not going to have any breakfast. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Have have a breakfast. Have something healthy for breakfast, and also eat your meals at the same
Sure.
time. You don't necessarily have to eat at 2 or 3 on Thanksgiving and
Right.
Christmas, because then you're going to nibble the rest of the night. So
And really, you're also training your body. Your
Yes,
brain
you are.
is taking your patterns and adapting to that and setting your internal clocks and things like that. So if you generally don't eat all day and then eat this giant thing at the end of the day, your body's going to store and you're actually going to have weight problems more than you would if you
Right.
just eat the small meal in the morning, every couple hours, keep constantly fueling it. Your metabolism, you're training your body
gonna
to
do
say,
better.
there's a constant source. We don't have to store fat. We don't have to do this because there's not going to be lean times. We're going to keep it
and
in
you
a
don't
steady...
have to eat a platter of food.
Yeah.
You can choose a smaller plate.
Sure.
Fill that plate up, and you're eating less food than if you put it on a big plate.
Yeah.
There's several things you can do.
Yeah.
So watch our Facebook. Hopefully we'll get those things out to the public.
Yeah, generally people that have that healthy thing are like they always carry like a bag of nuts or something and eat like every
Which
2
is a
hours
great
with a
snack.
handful of nuts or thing of
And
carrots
a bottle
or,
of water.
Yeah, or maybe one of those like Ensure drinks or something like
yes.
that.
A protein
you know,
drink.
something. You know, you do like that every 2 hours. Generally speaking, your body's going to be it's going to be shooting off.
You're gonna feel better.
Yeah, because you're actually training your body to metabolize and do things differently.
We need to all become those people.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's just it. I'm saying this. None of us are bad. We all do
Yeah.
the same thing. I haven't
Yeah,
eaten
we
since
do.
yesterday. And you're like, oh man, it's 4:00. What happened? You know, we all do.
Right,
that.
right.
We all do it. I get it.
Sure,
but,
we do.
But we got to be conscious of it. And,
Yes,
and
and if you start doing it when you're younger, you
Yeah.
can form the correct habit.
if you made, let's say the first week, you only got it done once or twice a week. Great. At least that's a start. Next week, maybe we get 3 days a
Absolutely.
week. We nailed it.
Yes,
you know, and
absolutely.
eventually you're training your body to where at some point it's going to change your cravings. You're
Yeah.
going to see that peanut butter bar and be like, I take a bite, but it tastes kind of sweet
And that made
gross
me
now.
feel bad
Yeah.
last time I ate that.
You
So
know,
I'm not going to do that again.
And then your body will be like, no, all right, carrots. You know what? Now I'm good.
Right.
You know, and that your body will believe me. I know you
It
don't
will
believe it right
adapt.
now. It will adapt.
Yes, in
after
a
while.
good way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas and Happy
Merry
New Year. If I
Christmas,
don't
Happy
see you
New
between
Year.
now and then, and
Yes.
and I guess we'll talk about a healthier 2022 next
There you
time.
go.
Yes, we will.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Merry Christmas.
And don't eat too hard.
Eat healthy.
That's right. Eat hard, healthy hard, or something like that.